Morning, everybody. This is Jackie from Jack Gets Lost on a Book Haul, and if you notice, that top shelf actually has books in it this time. I mean, it did have books before, but the way I organized it, I didn't need books up there. But now I've decided to do what a lot of people do on BookTube, which is have a TBR shelf. So anyway, welcome to another episode of me trying to be interesting and reading quotes from my quote book. So where were we? Okay. Let me unfold these because I don't want to confuse myself. Okay. So next quote is from another favorite Robin Williams movie, one that I don't have, where he is the doctor, but he has very unconventional methods that make, where he just believes in making his patients laugh, and that laughter is a cure. And unfortunately those methods get him in trouble and almost get him fired. So this is a quote from when he is in the courtroom, because they go to court for this. And it's, you treat a disease, you win. You treat a disease, you win, you lose. You treat a person, I guarantee you win. I love that philosophy. I think that's a really great, beautiful philosophy. So it's one of my favorite quotes in the movie. Okay, now this is from the horror movie The Faculty. I'm not a huge aliens taking over the planet movies, unless they're like comedic. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear my dog squealing, but she's getting very nervous because there are painters painting the outside of our house, and she gets nervous really easily, when people are here. Okay, she's asking me to get out. Oh, well, maybe not. Sophie, go. Go lay down. Go lay down. Sophie, go lay down. Go on. No, not over there. Sophie, go back on the couch. Good girl. Good girl, Sophie. It's okay, baby. So, but I do, for some reason, I really like this movie, The Faculty, where it's basically a bunch of it's one of those teen horror films, but it's not as, I feel like it's a little more interesting than ones like Scream and stuff like that, where aliens decide to take over the town by first taking over the teachers and the students at their school. And this is the Queen Bee. She's telling one of the kids that, sorry. Come on. So, rascal! Sorry. See, as I've said before, my window is a great view of the driveway, so they can see everything from my window. Okay, so let me just read the quote. The underachiever goes home to parents who care. The jock can be smart. The outcast can be accepted. The school wuss doesn't have to live in fear. And the new girl can just fit right in. Oh, let me try to read it in her accent, because she does have an accent. The underachiever goes home to parents who care. The jock can be smart. The outcast can be accepted. The school wuss doesn't have to live in fear. And the new girl can fit just right in. And that was Mary Beth. She's apparently from the South. Apparently they're Southern aliens. This is from, I don't know, I think this was like a book or something. One of those books that, you read to feel good about yourself. Friends for Life. True happiness consists not in the multitude of friends, but in their worth and choice. And that is a quote that was said by Samuel Johnson. And I am actually one of those people who kind of lives by that philosophy, because, yeah, I have a lot of people that are on my friends list on Facebook, but there's only like a few people, like there are 3 girls on Facebook that I'm friends with, that I consider my true friends, and then there are people that beyond that are like I'm good friends with, but they're not like my true friends that I would like die for or something. So I kind of live by that philosophy. Okay, so next, let's see if I can read this, because unfortunately on the next page I was using one of those ink pens that it goes through the page, but I like those. I like all the colors. But let's see if I can reach. Each life has the ability to change lives, to touch lives, which in turn which touch it more, and so yes. Okay, I'm skipping that one. A little consideration. Oh, okay, I can't read them because the other ink is covering. So, they are good quotes, but I can't read them. Okay, this is another Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. This is when Elizabeth is being told about the curse. We aren't dead, but we cannot die. I feel nothing. Not the wind on my face, not the warmth of a woman's flesh. And of course, that's a guy saying that quote. But I kind of like it, especially how Geoffrey Rush says it in the movie to Elizabeth. It's really scary and intense. So, okay, now, this is from one of my all-time favorite comedy movies that I have watched on repeat several times, and I've listened to the commentary several times. In fact, that's when I discovered the appeal of commentary, as long as it's from the actor's point of view. I mean, no disrespect and nothing against, like, writers and directors, but they don't get into it and make it into. I feel like when it's unless it's an actor-director kind of situation, I feel like they just explain what's going on in the movie, which is interesting and all, and it's important. But the actors make it kind of fun and entertaining. What is their job? They're supposed to entertain, you know? But anyway, this is one of the quotes by Robert Downey Jr. He's like, okay, let me give you a rundown of the movie. So, if you haven't seen it, it's about these group of actors, they're trying to make a Vietnam film, but their egos are so big that they can't get the film done. So, the author of the book the film is based on convinces the director to put these actors in the real jungle. And unfortunately, that turns into a disaster and the director gets himself blown up, and that happens like in the beginning of the movie, so it's not that much of a spoiler. These actors are forced to trek through the jungle and find, and get out of there and survive. And unfortunately, there's one of the major drug cartels in the jungle, run by this adorable but hilarious little boy that is like, the point is like, so mean and so evil and vicious. It's hilarious. And all these actors just have all these issues. They have huge egos. And you have our main guy played by Ben Stiller, and he's the director of Tropic Thunder, not in the movie, but the director of the actual movie. He plays an actor that's an action star who's trying to get his name out there again because his action movies have, run out of, pun intended, heat. If you watch the movie, you'll know why I say pun intended. So he's trying to get back and introduce some serious movies so people will take him seriously. So that's why he does the serious Vietnam movie. And then you have, Jack Black is a comedian who has like a fatties franchise about a really heavy-set family who has a flatulence problem. And then you have Jay Baruchel, who's like the new actor in town, trying to get his name out there. And then you have Brandon T. Jackson. He is a rapper wanting to get into the acting business, and his name is Al Pacino. That's his name, Al Pacino. That's his name, and they make a joke about that. And then Robert Downey Jr. plays an Australian actor who decides he's one of those method actors, and he decides to do blackface. He plays the one black character, even though there is a black actor in the movie. He gets the part to play the main black character in the movie. So he dons the whole blackface and everything, and it's basically him mocking black people and doing what he interprets as black people's behavior, like how they speak. And it's really hilarious. And this is like in the climax of the movie where everything's just falling apart and the characters are like losing it and everything. Okay, let me see if I can do it with the voice. Actually, I probably can't, so I'm just gonna try to read as best I can. I know who I am. I'm a dude playing dude disguised as another dude. You're a dude who don't know what dude he is. And I'm not gonna do that whole thing, but because that's not the whole scene. That's just the first part. Well, not even the first part, but yeah, it's hilarious. Me and my dad, watch it all the time, and we quote it all the time. It's such a quotable movie, and I definitely think you guys should check it out if you're interested. Okay, now speaking of Robert Downey Jr., he made a CD called The Futurist, and this is the song on there that is actually from the movie Chaplin that he did, where he played the title character, and this is the song on the CD that he did for the movie. And I just did the songs from a lyric from the song. You might find your life is still worthwhile if you just smile. So it's a cover actually. He didn't actually, he didn't write the song, and no one wrote the song for him. He did a cover of a song because Chaplin actually wrote the song, I believe. Okay, so, and then this is another. Go on. You're wasting my time, Rascal. I hate when my dogs do this. When someone's here, they get excited. So it's like, on the one hand, Rascal wants to be downstairs, but then they both get scared of the strangers at our house, and just lots of back and forth. Okay, now here are some quotes by the actor himself that I really liked. And I have a couple of these. I also have some from Johnny Depp and Robin Williams, and also quotes from Robert Carlyle, the actor from Once Upon a Time, who played Rumple. Okay, so here are some RDJ quotes. I've always felt like such an outsider in this industry because I'm so insane, I guess. It's a blanket statement to say, that guy's really sharp and I cannot talk. Amicable. Sorry, I can't say that word. I also had trouble with anonymity too. I'm like that little kid fish in Finding Nemo. That when Nemo starts going to school and he meets that one little kid who can't say a word, can't say what he is. I'm like that kid. And nice. Because there's a little bit of an a-hole in every nice guy, and there's a little bit of genius in every moron. I know very little about acting. I'm just an incredibly gifted faker. I don't want to go all Michael Jackson on you, but I never really had a childhood. I have a sense of destiny that you are led to things you are supposed to do. Ooh, that's kind of, I mean, it's probably not, but that reminds me of the line in Tropic Thunder, I was about to say Tropic Thunder, in Pirates, Dead Man's Chest. I just watched that movie last night. I just finished it up last night, actually. That's the movie that, and it's also a line that she says, that the character in the movie says in the third one, at World's End, to Will, because if you've seen the movie, you know what happens to his character in the third movie. And that's what she says to him. She says, you have a touch of destiny. Okay, now the next quote is Johnny Depp quotes. Another actor I absolutely love. One of my favorites. I don't pretend to be Captain Weird. I just do what I do. France and the whole of Europe have a great culture, an amazing history. Most important thing, though, is that people, they know how to live. In America, they've forgotten all about it. I'm afraid the American culture is a disaster. Ooh. Wonder what you guys think of that quote. I think it's very interesting. One of the greatest things I've seen happen was this morning. I opened the newspaper, and it said what some very powerful government officials had decided to change in the name of French fries to freedom fries. French toast to freedom toast. It was impressive. I want to write them a letter just to thank them, just for probably proving globally that. Okay, go on. Did you bring your clothes down? Yes, I did. Oh my god, there are way too many interruptions. Sophie, if you're gonna stay downstairs, stay downstairs. I'll give one of my towels on a little bit. Okay. Globally, that they were absolute imbeciles. I just think that's hilarious. And I remember that. I remember it was like the whole changing of French fries and French toast to freedom fries and freedom toast. With any part you play, there's a certain amount of yourself in it. There has to be. Otherwise, it's just not acting. It's lying. And here is something he says. If you've seen, on the carriage scene in Sleepy Hollow, if you remember, he gets dragged on they're being chased by the Headless Horseman, and he ends up getting dragged by the horses in the carriage, on the carriage. I wasn't afraid of getting hurt. I was afraid the horses might relieve themselves on the journey. So basically, he was afraid he was going to get shit on. Am I a romantic? I've seen Wuthering Heights 10 times. I'm a romantic. I want to see that movie. We actually have that movie, and I want to read the book too, because I love Jane Eyre. And I know what kind of books they write. I know their books are very depressing, and I know what Wuthering Heights is about, so. Okay, this is a quote from The Color Purple. It's gonna ruin on your head. It's gonna ruin on your head. So that's my friend Trace who submitted that one. This is an Iron Man quote, so another Robert Downey Jr. Is it? Oh my God! Come on! Sorry, so many interruptions. Is it better to be feared or respected? I say, why not both? Okay, and this is from Becoming Jane, one of my favorite movies. I have no money, but you must know how I feel. I'm yours, heart and soul. And this is from Tin Man, which is a mini-series about the Wizard of Oz. And it is basically a story where it's a different, more post-apocalyptic world of the land of Oz. Kind of what that one series was trying to do. I can't remember what that one was called. But anyway, here's the quote. Majestic Queen of Oz had 2 lovely daughters, she. One to darkness she'd be drawn, one to light she'd be shown. Double eclipse it is foreseen, where light meets dark and the stillness between. But only one, and one alone, can hold the emerald. And I think claim the throne. And that is, Ascadelia is reciting that. And this is another line that Ascadelia says. Welcome back, little sister. There's no place like Oz. Welcome back, little sister. There's no place like Oz. And this next one is from The Dark Knight, which is in one of the Nolan Batman movies. This is the second one, I believe. You either die a hero or live to see yourself become the villain. And that's what Harvey Dent says. Okay, here is another faculty quote. I think this is the rest of the quote that I read earlier from the faculty. You see, Casey, even Mary Beth's feelings can be hurt by outcasts who truly believe their disinfected, lonely lives are the only way they can survive. Okay, and the next one is a book one. Well, a book/movie one from Order of the Phoenix. The world isn't split in two. People who are good or bad. We all have light and darkness in us. Light and dark inside us. It depends on which power we act upon. That's what Sirius said to Harry in the movie. I don't remember if it was in the book, and I can't do the Anglo-Saxon. It's even worse than my Southern. Okay, and this is from The Fellowship of the Ring, another book, but I've only seen the movie. I did read The Hobbit, in my defense. This is what all the people, say when in the council when Frodo's offering to take the ring to Mordor and throw it in the fire. They're all so impressed that they all volunteer to help him. I will help you bear this burden as long as it is yours to bear. By either life or death, I will protect you. You have my sword. And you have my bow. And my axe. Okay, so it's not everybody says that quote. Not one person says this quote, but I didn't bother clarifying that. But I mean, this is for me, so I'm not showing this to. You carry the fate of us all, little one. Then Gondor will see it done. Okay, this is one of RDJ's more independent films, The Singing Detective, and I don't remember what this one was about. It was a very eccentric film. When you're dealing with the devil, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. And then this next one is one that I found on the little. It's one that Carrie Underwood said from one of her songs, one of my favorite songs of hers. God put us here on this carnival ride. We close our eyes, never knowing where it will take us next. This is a Taylor Swift one, because I'm one of those people who does like Taylor Swift. I'm not that complicated. My complications come out in my songs. All you have to do is be my friend. To be my friend is like me and listen. She gets so much crap. People give her such a hard time because she goes through a lot of boyfriends. I mean, and yeah, it could, because she goes through a lot of guys, you could say that maybe it's her that's the problem, but I feel so bad for her. I like her, and I feel like she's probably a really nice person. She just has issues. Okay, this is from Sherlock Holmes, the movies, not the TV show Sherlock, but the RDJ and Jude Law movies. I never complain. When have I complained about your practicing the violin at 3 in the morning, or your mess, or your total lack of hygiene, or the fact that you steal my clothes? And that's what Watson says when they end up in jail. They end up in jail at one point, and Watson just trying to, go with his new wife, be with his new wife and marry her and everything, but of course Sherlock doesn't want him to leave. Life happens when you're making other plans. That is a quote from John Lennon, one of the guys from the Beatles. sadly, who died. This is from Matilda. This is the narrator. So Matilda's young mind continued to grow, nurtured all those voices of all those authors who set their books out like ships onto the sea. I love that quote. Because, I mean, as a reader, that's, like, such a beautiful quote. Okay, so I'm only gonna do these last 4, and then I will end it here and just do another video, film another video. This is from one of my favorite romantic comedies, another RDJ film from the early 90s. It's called Only You, where this woman believes that this name that she received from the spirit board is the name of the man that she's supposed to marry. So she hears his name he calls, because he's friends with her fiance and her brother. He calls her house saying, he wants to, to talk to her fiance, but her fiance is working, and unfortunately he's going to Rome for business. So the woman and her best friend, one of her best friends, follow him all the way to Rome and try to track him down. While they run into RDJ's character, Peter Wright, who pretends to be the guy that she's looking for. And he falls in love with her, and it's about him trying to get her to fall in love with him and to forgive him for pretending to be this other guy. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're nuts about me. We were made for each other. Which that's what he says when she, like, after she finds that he once again tricked her, and she decides, she, like, leaves, takes off leaving, and then he's, like, trying to get her to come back. And that's what he says. This is a quote by James Allen. I don't know where I got this quote from, probably from a folder or a poster or something. Let a man radically alter his thoughts, and he will be astonished at the rapid transformation it will effect in the material conditions of his life. Like I said, that's James Allen. And this is another James Allen one. I think I got this from one of those like coffee table books, or one of those little books that, pocket books or something. A man is literally what he thinks. His character be the complete sum of all his thoughts. And this one is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Okay, I'm going to stop there. And I will continue later, film another one. Alright, so if you guys are still enjoying my reading of these quotes, please give this video a thumbs up. And click subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I love you guys. Bye.